The confirmed assassination of Irani Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei in the Israeli-US strikes marks the most consequential political transition in Iran since 1989. With no clear successor and a country under active bombardment, the question of who leads Iran next and how remains deeply uncertain. Even from the neighboring Pakistan, the fallout is being visibly felt. Pakistan has closed major crossings along its 900-kilometer border with Iran, citing fears of militant spillover and possible flow of refugees. The move has disrupted informal trade, including Iranian fuel supplies that support parts of Balochistan's economy. Security forces are on alert in major cities as protests by segments of Pakistan's Shia community continue. Shias constitute between 15 to 20% of Pakistan's nearly 250 million citizens, making it one of the largest Shia populations outside Iran.
The idea to have a sovereign sort of Shia state is obviously very important for Shias in minority contexts, in particular in South Asia, both in India and Pakistan. And I would think, this escalation and this brazen attack on his life, I would think that probably the consequences are even graver in places like Pakistan and India than in the Middle East.
On Sunday, there were reports of police shelling protesters outside the US consulate in Karachi.
If there's an extended period or a prolonged period of unrest, or there's remnants of the regime that are still fighting to maintain power, you could see that have a spillover in terms of sectarianism inside Pakistan. And it's certainly going to change the sectarian climate in Pakistan no matter what.
Pakistan has condemned the strikes and says it will not allow its territory or airspace to be used for attacks against Iran. At the same time, it remains engaged with Washington, Beijing, and Gulf Arab capitals to avoid deeper entanglement.
Certainly an unstable Iran is not good for Pakistan, and that's why you see Pakistan trying to stay out of this conflict, especially since there's such a close relationship that has developed with the Trump administration.
Attention all ships, attention all ships.
Attention is also on the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global oil shipments. Any prolonged disruption could push energy prices higher, adding pressure to Pakistan's import-dependent economy. The crisis also intersects with ongoing tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Islamabad accuses Kabul of allowing anti-Pakistan militant groups to operate from Afghan soil. Kabul denies the claim.
If this regime weakens, then you can see the Taliban trying to take advantage of that and expand their influence into Sistan, Balochistan. The Baloch there are Sunni Islamist and of Deobandi type. So there is, affinity there. And so Sistan, Balochistan province becomes a springboard for the Taliban to actually, try to expand into those areas. Again, depending on how weak the Iranian regime becomes. Let's say if there's Taliban influence on the Iranian side of the border, then there could be spillover into Balochistan. And we already know there's cooperation and coordination. There's evidence between Baloch separatists in Pakistan and TTP.
In an extreme escalation, analysts warn that strategic sites such as Bagram Air Base could become targets, with potentially devastating consequences for the region. For Pakistan, the priorities remain clear: prevent any sectarian unrest, secure its western frontiers, and protect the economy from the shockwaves of a wider regional conflict. With Iran now in an uncertain transition, the coming days will determine whether it remains a contained power shift or spirals into a broader regional confrontation. This is Hunain Amin from Islamabad, South Era Network.